Hey team, the purpose of this video is to talk to you about how to use the Fresno County Library app that you find inside Clever. So log into Clever like you normally would and then scoot down the screen until you find the Fresno County Library app. And if this is one that you're going to return to frequently, you can always click the little heart right here. And what that does is it classifies that app as one of your favorites, and then it will make a copy of that app up at the top in your favorites. Once you're ready to go, click on that app one time.
If you already have a library card, you have the ability to simply use your library card number in order to check out books. If you do not have a library card, please ask for mom or dad's permission in order to sign up using their cellular phone number.
You will receive a one-time passcode as a text message to that originating phone, and then type that information in and then proceed. From there, you will have access to use the resources that are available here in a digital form. One possibility is that you are going to want to use Kindle Books. You do not have to have a special device in order to read Kindle Books. Your computer is just fine. You can receive those materials right here. And my recommendation is to come to Kids, or if you're in 6th grade and your parents give you permission to read teen-related content, then you can hit there. I'm going to click on Kids just to model what this looks like. And some recommended resources will instantly pop up. Pretty decent information shows up when you are here. Right here in red, it says borrow. That means that that book is available for me to borrow right now. If the book is not available right now, it's going to say place a hold. So up here it says available, up here it says waitlist. If it is a resource that you would like to borrow but it's not available right now, you can put your name on a waiting list so that you can borrow that book on another day. As you move down the screen, you'll see that there are different types of categories. There's new read-alongs, so those books can be read out loud to you. Frozen, the entire category of Frozen, you'll see multiple resources that are available in that area. Award winners will come next, and then so on. This actually looks like a good book. I would like to check this one out. I'm going to click the plus symbol right here. That is now in my favorites, and I can come back and I can check that book out later. If you're uncertain what the book is about or if it's in your readability, you can actually click directly on that book. When you click directly on that book, you'll find some key details on that next page. Who the author or illustrator might be. The fact that it's an audiobook is available right here. Rate the book. If you think it's a 5-star book or a 4-star book or a 3-star book, you can rate the book. And when you're not hovering on top of those stars, it will let you know what other people have said. The description, the creators, the details, the reviews. And if you click right here, you'll get a little bit more information about that book. So if you're curious about the book before you check it out, then you can click on those bits right there to determine if you would like to borrow that book. And because it is an audiobook, you can listen to a sample of the book before you borrow it. Let me click right here and see what happens. This resource pops up. I can click the play button right here.
Read for you by John Lithgow and Kate Mulgrew.
I'm going to click pause. I'm not going to go through that entire thing. That gives you a small, brief overview of what that audio text is going to look like. You also have some additional resources up here. If you want the audio portion to snooze after 30 minutes, you can. If you want that speed, the speed at which the person is reading, if you want it to go faster or slower, then you can use this button right here, and it will cause that audio speed to increase or decrease. I'm going to click out of this. I'm actually going to go back. In order to search for different materials, I don't have to go very far. I can come right here to search, or I can click right here where it says collections, and I can find specific collections. I can also click right here where it says subjects if I want to search for a specific subject. So there are multiple books available for me. The number right here lets me know how many books of that type the library has access to. It doesn't mean that 264 books are available for me to borrow right now. It just means that the library has that many of that specific kind. I'm going to scoot up to the top. I'm going to click the search button. In this area, right after you click the search button, magnifying glass appears right over here, and you can actually search for content right here. So I'm going to search for dogs. I want to look for books about dogs. Right here, I can quickly and easily discern whether or not these books are available. It says available up here, or it says waitlist right here. I'm going to click right here where it says Guinness World Records in order to determine if this is a book that I want to check out. On the far right-hand side, it lets me know the readability. So the interest level is kindergarten to third grade. The text difficulty is second to third grade. And the ATOS level is a 3.9. There are several different categories for leveling books for children, and not all of those levels are available on display right here. They just have this specific leveling system available. Now, I'm going to click right here where it says borrow, and we're going to see what happens. To officially borrow the book, I need to let the library know how many days I would like to borrow it. I'm going to say 7 days. I think 21 days for me right now would be a little bit selfish. It means that I'm holding on to that book longer than I need to, and I want to bless someone else by giving them an opportunity to check that book out. So I'm going to choose 7 days, and then I'm going to come right here to where it says borrow. Now, if it were a 700-page book and I wanted to hold on to it for longer, then that's an option. But I know that this is a short book, and I don't really need to hold on to that book for very long. Right here, I can click Read Now in Browser by clicking one time where it says Read Now in Browser. It's going to pop open right here on my computer. There's a button down here that says Start Narration. I'm going to click Start Narration.
Welcome to the wonderful world of reading. In this I Can Read story, Guinness World Records, Daring Dogs, you will be going on a fun adventure. Are you ready to read?
I'm going to click Pause Narration. My only objective was to make sure that you understood that that button was down there and how it functioned. You don't have these dynamic buttons on the right and the left that tell you click here to move to the next page. It's kind of your job to figure that out on your own. So over here on the right-hand side, just click one time and it will turn that page for you. Once you've had a chance to read that page, click again and it will move to the next page and so on. Sometimes the library gives you the option of reading a book inside a Kindle. So maybe you're on an iPad and you want to use this on your iPad. If a book of that type has that option, it will show you that. I'm going to come right here where it says Kindle Books because they're specifically Kindle enabled books. And then I'll model what that looks like if that is an option for you. I'm going to click search right here. This time I'm going to search for cats. I press enter on my keyboard, and then it's going to locate books that are available on the Kindle. And then I also need to pay attention to books that are available if it's something that I would like to read right now. I'm going to come here to Geronimo Stilton. I have two options. I can either click borrow and instantly borrow this text, or I can click on this in order to find out more information about the book. I mentioned the readability level, etc. That's available over here on the right. Maybe I want to add it to my wish list. Maybe the next time I come back to the library, it's something that I would like to check out. So I can click that button if I want, or I can click the borrow button right here. I'm going to choose 7 days again right here, and I'm going to choose borrow. Now, this screen right here allows me to read it now with Kindle. So if you are on a tablet or a handheld device and you would like to use your Kindle in order to read the book, then this is how you would read the book using that device. I'm now going to come right up here where I have a stack of books because this represents the books that are in my possession or books that I would like to check out in the future. I'm going to click one time right here, and the books that I am currently borrowing are available on display here. And then if I have any books that I would like to read in the future because I bookmarked those and they're on my wish list, by clicking on wish list right here, you'll notice how the Mr. Rogers book that I was looking at earlier is now available right here. I'm technically not checking that book out right now. It's just something that I'm interested in, and I might want to come back and borrow that later. going to click right here to remove that just so that I show you what that's like. By clicking one time, it's going to verify that I want to remove the title from my wish list, and I can click remove title right here. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click the word loan because the library is loaning me a book or multiple books. The library is letting me borrow those. The point at which I no longer need to borrow those books, it would be wise for me to return those books. Because if I'm holding on to those books, somebody else cannot read them. So my recommendation to you is please be conscientious and polite and return those books when you are finished with them. I'm going to click the return button right here. The library is going to verify, are you sure you want to return this? And then I'm going to click this orange button right here to return that book. The library lets me know how many titles I can have out at one time. So I can borrow 23 more titles on my account. I'm going to go through the process of returning all of these books because I am finished reading those books. One thing I want to point out, if you have chosen to read the book in your browser, when you return to that book, it recognizes where you left off and will pick up right where you left off. I'm going to click right down here where it says Read Now in Browser. And when I do that, it's going to pick up where I left off. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a page number. If anybody were asking for my opinion on this, I would say, hey, can you give me some page numbers? However, that's not available in the browser version to move from page to page. Just scoot over to the right-hand side of your screen and click one time, and you'll notice that the page will scoot over for you as you are reading this book. And let me return this book right here. So it goes back and somebody else can check that book out. In order to check out more books, I still have all of these search tools up at the top and I can check out more books. Team, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.